Hey everyone, welcome back to the Mondo Pronto YouTube channel. My name is Trevor and this is Matt from Mondo Mechanical, and today we're going to be talking about HVAC repair Edmonton. All toilets are not created equal. Funny topic. Now here's a quick quote from Henry Ford. Quality means doing it right when nobody is looking. Here's a quick stat for you. An average person visits a toilet 2,500 times a year, about 6 to 8 times a day. So add that all up, you're looking at about 3 years of our lives on the toilet. That
a lot of time.
That's a lot of time on the toilet. So tell us a little bit about your experience here, and what's the story we have for today, Matt?
So I've installed a lot of toilets. There's so many different brands, makes, and models essentially out there when it comes to toilets, as there is everything. And a lot of people don't put much thought into the toilet that they're going to be installing inside their home.
Yeah, no, I got that, and we've been in a few different homes, and we've seen that time and time again. You go from one house and where we were renting, and the toilets are builder grade. They're absolutely terrible. They don't do the job that they're supposed to do, and always dealing with clogs and plugs and all that sort of fun stuff that you should never have to deal with a good toilet. So now that coming to that first question here, does the type of toilet really matter?
It absolutely does. So with toilet, there's two different types. There's what's called round, which is more of a circular bowl,
Okay.
and then there's what's called elongated, which most people will recognize of in the handicap bathrooms
Sure.
and stalls inside public washrooms.
Okay.
Those ones are elongated, and they're also taller, which is an ADA requirement. It's just so it's easier for people to get on and off of. A lot of elderly people or just people find it comfortable to have a taller toilet. So depending on your situation, if you're older, younger, taller, a type of toilet will make a big difference in your day-to-day use of it.
Okay, now what are some of the problems that you often see with low quality toilets?
So I see lower quality toilets all the time in new construction. Unfortunately, new construction is usually built by the lowest bidder. So they got to cut corners somewhere to make their profit margin. It's not really their fault. It's just what you got to do to make a living. A lot of these toilets are leaking after a year, passing water, so they're wasting water. They're not flushing very good. Think of it as anything that you can buy yourself a brand new car for $15,000, whatever.
Yeah.
It'll work, it'll drive, but is it really that good? How reliable is it? Is it the Cadillac that's got all the fancy stuff? So it sounds weird to think of that when it comes to toilets, but everything in this world, it comes to lower end or higher end, and you want to find something at least in the middle when you're expecting quality.
No, that sounds like a great idea. Now, what are some things that people need to consider when they're purchasing a new toilet?
So when you're purchasing a new toilet, again, look at height. Is that elongated going to be a little bit? Some elongated toilets will not fit in some bathrooms. And also you want to make sure that top flush or side flush, because some people have what's called a banjo that goes across their countertop.
Yeah.
Those dual flushes will not work in that situation. And you also want to look at how often does it used. If it's a basement toilet and never gets used unless company comes over, maybe you don't put in a fancier toilet. If it's your main floor bathroom and you got 4 kids and it's company all the time, you might want to put in a bit better value that'll last longer and be more efficient on your water usage.
Right. Now, are the toilets from big box stores good enough, or should homeowners select one from a plumbing supply place?
So the box stores are like anything. They're going to have their entry-level products, which are an entry-level product, builder's grade. They'll have the fancy ones as well, so you can get a really good toilet from those places. When it comes to us, when we supply and install our toilets, there's 3 toilets that we typically sell and install.
Okay.
And it's 3 that I've trusted and are different quality levels. There's essentially good, better, and best. So depending on your budget, we have a toilet that will work for you. So again, that's just backing our knowledge and trying to pick what's best for your client.
All right. So Matt, how can a homeowner be sure that they're getting a good quality toilet that performs well? Like, is there any way to test it or try before you buy kind of thing? How do they know?
So I've personally actually set up a demo, and we'll be doing it at our next trade show as well, where we had a plexiglass tank, and I bought one of those $100 builder grade toilets, set it up beside it, and put my fancy toilet set up beside it as well. And we had a pump cycling the water back into the tank, and we were flushing things down the toilet. The box store builder's grade entry level product could flush 7 to 8 golf balls down it at 6 liters per flush. My fancy toilet, or the top end toilet, uses only 4.8 liters of flush, so 1.2 less, but it was flushing 30 golf balls down it all day long. So that's a demo I've done, and that's one of the toilets I've sold. Other than that, you can read reviews and testimonials and stuff on toilets from the manufacturers, but there's no other way to really test it unless you install it and live with it.
Yeah, I'm sure they don't want it back.
No, one-time use, it's yours.
One-time use, it's all yours. Now, how long do toilets typically last?
So it's all over the place. If it's an entry beginner thing, I've replaced them after a year because they start causing issues. If they're not a glazed trapway, which means the part that you can't see, the internals of the toilet, those ones break down a lot quicker because they start catching things and having more issues, and the calcium builds up on them easier. Okay. If they're fully glazed, they'll last a little bit longer, but on average it's about 10 to 15 years, I like to say, for a toilet if it's of decent quality.
Okay. Now, is it always easy to find replacement parts for these toilets?
Depends on the make. If you stay with a good name like American Standard, Toto, Kohler's got some good toilets as well, ProFlow, then yes. But if you get into some of the oddball toilets and stuff, they're hard to get parts for, or quantity of them as well.
Now, is it wise for homeowners to replace their toilets themselves? Is that something that weekend warriors should do?
So I like to say in my industry, I'm good at two things. I'm good at everything to do with my business, and then I'm good at demolition. Other than that, I hire it out. So with us, for example, when it comes to air conditioning, we end up hiring out Halo Power, actually, another local business that's really good, and they do all our electrical connections. So when it comes to that, if you're good at it, give it a try. But a toilet, you have to sit down properly on a wax seal. You have to make sure it's good, or if it's not sealed properly, you'll be leaking water underneath your subfloor, and by the time you find out, it could be too late and you've rotted out your subfloor. So technically I would say let the professionals do that job for sure.
Okay. Now, how do people get in touch with Mondo Mechanical for a quote?
So there's different ways you can get a hold of us. There's email, which is info@mondopronto.com. There's also matt@mondopronto.com. There's also candy@mondopronto.com. We check our emails regularly. There's Facebook, there's Instagram, and there's also our website, which is mondopronto.com.
Okay.
And also our phone number, which is 780-233-5404, and you can always get us through there, even on text message.
Now, are there anything that people should know about toilets before we switch off and go to the next video?
So one thing that a lot of people don't know is by upgrading your toilet, you can save money. A lot of people think by replacing their furnace is going to save them a lot of money, which it does, but it's more of a long-term thing when you do that. Toilets is one thing that you can replace inside your home that can actually start putting money back in your pocket as early as a couple of years. Older toilets are 13.2 liters of flush per flush.
Wow.
Newer ones are 6 liters or less. So that 3 years you spend on the toilet in your lifetime and the amount of times you use, each flush you're saving anywhere from half as much water to even more if you get to those 4.8 liter flush toilets. And then on top of that, a lot of people are alarmed by that. They don't use as much water. They're not going to be able to flush as good. I could do that demo, show you. We'll use one of those 13.2 liter toilets and put it up against my 4.8 liter, and mine will flush more than yours all day long and save money for you as well. It's also better for the environment on saving water.
That is awesome, because I know the old low flow toilets from the past, you always had to flush them 2 or 3 times in order to get everything done, which didn't make sense to me because, okay, it's a low flow toilet, but it's not flushing anything. So is it really helping me out? I don't think so.
that again goes back into the quality. So when they first came out with lower flow toilets, there was some technology issues. They advanced it. It works a lot better now, but you can still get lower quality toilets which will need several flushes or a plug all the time because of the quality.
Yeah. So guys, if you are in need of a toilet, you need to call Matt at Mondo Pronto, because he is the guy who knows everything about toilets, and he can guide you in the right direction and service any different budget that you might have to replace the toilets in your home. So all I gotta say now is, if you need service pronto,
Call Mondo.
and we'll catch you guys next time.
Thank you.